All right, ladies and gentlemen, take two, game two, the first game we're actually watching of our Clash of the Class tournament season 6. Just let that sink in for a second. I think the Let's Horn music is perfect for the way this tournament has begun, for us at least. Game 1 was a forfeit because THG didn't have enough people fielded in time. We just tried getting started and we had a restart called because at least one person crashed. This is a best of 3. And so let's hope for a game 3. Let's hope that THG wins to force a game 3. Let's just hope that happens, all right? And thanks everybody for supporting me, coming in and saying hello. The hype train is, you guys are awesome. It makes a very stressful morning just roll off, you know, roll away. So thank you much, guys. Really appreciate y'all. So we've got COT6 account, COTC6 account 16 in the Julio without concealment. And I want to point out he's got vigilance, which is an interesting decision in this kind of setup because basically he doesn't want to take torpedoes, but there aren't that many torpedoes in a battleship-centric game mode. Anyway, or whatever. We got Machu in the Nelson. He's in tank build, but he's got Furious and instead of fire prevention. Interesting choice. COT6, COTC6 account number 17, Massachusetts Black in a secondary focused build. And then there's Ben in the Odin, also in a secondary build. So we got 2 secondary battleships heading to the same spot. My guess is they want to try to buzzsaw things away. Now they have at least 4 battleships. They could take another ship. It could be any class. And Team Frog has chosen to bring Grago Smash in a destroyer. And my guess is the reason for that is simple. They want to get the cap as quickly as possible, move on to the next cap. Also, there's torpedo utility and that sort of thing. Grago Smash is using radio location, which I think is kind of funny, because in this particular battle, again, up against a lot of battleships, chances are very low that you're going to have a ship sneak up on you. If anything, it'll be 1 out of the 5 opponents, right? It'll be 1 destroyer that might be a sneaky destroyer. All right, THG, everybody going together, apes together, strong approach, all to A. We have Merasmus in the Warspite, also with Vigilance. We got Madness Gonser in the Scharnhorst. We've got Fatal Commander in the Julio. And Bubbles, I'm guessing that's supposed to be Bubbles, in the Atlantico, secondary spec. And finally, Dunpeel, Massachusetts Black, in a secondary spec ship as well. Interesting that Grago is actually hanging around, and we just saw a really big hit there. Fatal Commander just got clocked. I would like to comment briefly. He's got FR in the name, so maybe he's French and he's taking an Italian battleship out. He is about to get a torpedo, possibly. He does take a torpedo despite having vigilance. And yeah, so the problem with THG choosing this setup is as they go through, it's going to allow Team Frog to just completely wrap around and get the flanks. And to me, that's the issue. That's the concern here. I gotta say, Team Frog is looking far stronger right now. I like the decision, by the way, of putting Matthews Nelson where he is. He can just sit here, he can go bow on, he can reverse. He already used one of his super heals. He's got more coming. But that being said, you can see the problem with this ship is the armor scheme. It really lets the Nelson down. It's one reason I don't like the Nelson much at all. And you can see he goes down. First blood goes to THG. And they managed to take the ACAP back All right, so here comes the question now. At what point do you push? Doonpeel trying to kite away in the Massachusetts Black. We've got a lot of other shots coming in now on account 17's Massachusetts Black. But we also see the Scharnhorst pushing through. And he sees a Julio there, so he might as well just W at it. Brago spotted now. And I would expect to see some broadside shots coming in. We already see some secondaries coming in now. This is the problem when you push by yourself. I would have expected to see Dunpeel's Massachusetts Black and Bubbles' Atlantico pushing as well, but they aren't. And now Mad's gonna take one to... Dude, he barely dodges that one. But he's definitely selling the farm here, trying to push. There's one of the big broadside salvos that came in. And I have a feeling that Frog is gonna get a ship kill momentarily here. He does have his heal going, so that will help. But I'm not seeing the focus fire that's necessary to kill out account 17's Massachusetts Black before the Scharnhorst goes down. That's the problem. Atlantico needs to push right now. These two ships, Atlantico and Massachusetts, need to push together and get on the side. That way one of them is on the side of account 17. Otherwise, what's happening here? Dunk! I mean... You just knew that was going to happen, boys and girls. And just like that, the two very strong battleships have been all but demolished. Brago Smash now just kiting away, pumping HE shells in. It's up to just wait for the reload. It's coming in moments. Doonpeel is going to die. There he goes. Now, as if they're like, okay, we got this. Here comes the Atlantico doing the exact same thing. Now, if he's able to take down the Odin, that'll work. But we got two very low health battleships here in the center that THG absolutely needs to take out. Okay, they do. They get both of them, so that's good. Now it's just the Leningrad and the Julio. And I want to say how impressive it is that the Scharnhorst here has survived. Madness has lived through this engagement, and he is starting to heal again. So aside from that misplay of throwing away Massachusetts for relatively free, THD does find themselves in board control. But keep in mind, only 2.5 minutes remain in this game, and they are technically losing. Fatal Commander needs to get into this game. He is, I don't know, maybe going on some shore leave down there. Okay, here we go. Scharnhorst comes around the corner, gets on the broadside of the Julio. Julio tries to respond back with HE salvos. They actually do good work, good damage. And I feel like Madness maybe was a little bit too early with this push around. You can see his DCP is not available. He is burning. This is going to be huge. If he actually burns out here, and I think he will, this is going to be a huge problem for THG. There he goes. Yep, he mistimed that push. He came out too early. Admiral Ozzo came out of light space too soon. Too quickly. Alright, well, unfortunately for Team Frog, Grago got stuck bow in, and he's probably going to die right about here. Which is great, because that gives us a game 3. He doesn't. He refuses to die. Grago refuses to die. Come on, Grago. I got a great... There it is. I got a great death pick right here. With two other ships in the background. A triple death pick. That is how you start Clash of the Classes, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why this tournament is awesome, and I am so glad it is being brought back to life. All right, we've had 2 restarts already. We've had several forfeits. It's day 1 of a crazy tournament. All right, so let's take a look at our setup here. This is game 3 on Polar. This is a best of 3 Group stage. Clash of the classes 6. 5 people playing. 4 must be battleships. It can be if they want. There's a point system. Let's get into it. So Katsa counts 17, bringing a Lenin. And then we've got Ben Penn Jr. in Massachusetts. We got Matthew in the King George. Remember I was commenting just momentarily ago about how the armor scheme of the Nelson, not so conducive. So they choose King George. Katsa counts 16 in the Giulio Cesare. And then finally we got Grago coming again into a destroyer, this time bringing a Shiratsuyu. I'm sure he wants to take advantage of... He doesn't. He's got smoke. I would have expected him to be using reload booster, torpedo reload booster to just dumpster things, but okay. Opposing them to the south is THG, and they are bringing with them a Scharnhorst. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a slight secondary build Scharnhorst. That's a hybrid build Scharnhorst. What? Gave up Mansex. Why would you do that? And then we've got over here next up is Fatal Commander in Massachusetts. That's a full secondary spec. And then Bubbles reprises role in the Atlantico, full secondary spec. We got Marasmus in that Warspite again. And finally, Dunpio is now in an October Revoluskaya, whatever. October Revolution, there it is. Polar is a very small map. Teams learned this the hard way last season. You absolutely have to be careful not to show your broadside. And you can see Katsa Count 17 is already picking that up. When people pronounce Grog Go Smash as Grago, well, I could have sworn his own wife called him that, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let's continue looking at the way this sets up. So Grago has gone into C. He's taken it. He also torpedoes Madness. That is unfortunate. That forces out the DCP and an early heal. Matthew takes a bit of a broadside there in the King George. Whoa, more than just a bit. This map, you have to make your decisions early where you're going to go, and then you have to go way out wide to make those changes, and then you go in. All right. Grago now is slowing down, smoking up, so he can take the B cap. He could actually sit in smoke and gun down the Scharnhorst. That's probably what I would do in this situation. Get him on fire in 2 places, because you know he DCP'd. Oh, he's already lost a torpedo tube as well as starboard torpedo launcher. And his port torpedo launcher only has 217 hit points left. That's oof. Some broadsides coming in on Rasmus's Warspite. He hits the brakes. Madness is in C-cap, but I don't think that he's long for this world. He's lost a turret as well. At least it's just been stunned. Both his torpedo tubes are gone. Matthew is not looking too healthy as well, but he is healing, or he's able to heal. All right, there goes first blood for Team Frog. Matthew gets a kill. Grago is in trouble. Came a little bit too close, and he goes down for his insolence there. And just like that, we've tied it back up on ships, although Frog does have 2 caps. Yeah, you can't show broadside in an Atlantico. Because that happens. Nice positioning of the Lenin. I haven't talked about this yet, but you can see number 17 all the way up on the border. It's going to allow him to just hammer broadsides. This is actually a very smart position. Atlantico does take down Ben, allowing him to bow into the threat that is the Lenin. But he's on double fires. His heal is down and his DCP is down, and he's about to burn out. There he goes. All right, we're still 3 on 3. Although I gotta say the 3 for Team Frog is stronger tier-wise than the 3 for Team THG. All right, I'm getting confirmation that we are the final game, so everybody else in the tournament is currently waiting for this game to end. Fatal Commander just got whacked a little bit by Matthew. But what needs to happen at this point is they need to just focus somebody out, and I think focusing out the Lenin would be the smart choice. Fatal Commander is trying to stop and reverse behind this island so that he can come away with the cap while his secondaries go blazing on Matthew. But you can see Matthew manages to shoot right through the uprights. I love that part of the map. And that's... Matthew's gonna have one more shot probably before he gets killed by Fatal Commander. Here comes the salvo. Matthew fires, dies. What does he fire at? He fires at the Octorev, because the Octorev was showing broad. Wow. Okay. And so with that now, we see Frog in the lead points-wise, but with only 2 battleships, and they're only gaining points on one cap, and the other 2 caps are going to flip. They are going for resets, though. They do get resets on A. And they get resets on B. There's only 2.5 minutes left. Julio popping out. Showing broadside to the Octorev. Gets hurt a little bit. Julio's got HE in the barrels. Gets the reset. So, at this point, Fatal Commander just needs to W into the Lenin. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Is the Lenin is showing broadside. And he just got clocked right there. Absolutely clocked is what happened. All right. His bow turrets, Fatal Commander's bow turrets, should be available momentarily. You can see the Lenin's front turret, one of them is inoperative. And there goes the kill. Hot's account 17. COTC 6's account 17 goes down. And now it's 3 on 1. Warspite this time all the way up to the north. Warspite should just keep going. Fatal Commander just comes right around and even goes for the ram. That would secure the win. 1.5 minutes. They need to get this kill. THG needs to get this kill. And there's the kill right there. Wow. He doesn't even care for armor angling. He just ended the life. Just executed that Julio. Woof. What a game. Alright, congratulations to THG for coming up with the win. 2-1.